Welcome back to B&B for Phone. Today is a beautiful, sun-drenched Thursday, and we are absolutely thrilled to bring you the juiciest, most jaw-dropping gossip straight out of Los Angeles. Grab your favorite beverage and get comfortable because the fashion world is about to explode. Have you ever wondered what happens when true love collides with corporate warfare? Well, we are about to find out. And let me tell you, it is going to be a bumpy ride. But here's the surprise that nobody saw coming. We need to talk about Electra and the massive bombshell she just dropped on Forrester. Can you believe it? Electra actually stood her ground and told RJ straight to his face that she simply cannot stay away from Will Spencer. She loves him too much. And you won't believe what happens next. Will is literally begging her to stay with him, putting his heart completely on the line. But looming in the shadows is the ultimate patriarch, Forrester, who has issued a chilling warning to Electra. He made it crystal clear that she needs to walk away from Will because Forresters and Spencers simply do not mix. Now, the absolute biggest question on everyone's mind is this. Do you think Electra will be fired by Ridge when she inevitably chooses Will? Let us dive deep into this messy, dramatic storyline and figure out exactly how this is going to play out on The Bold and the Beautiful. Let us be honest. Electra has been put through the absolute ringer lately. This young, incredibly talented designer built her early career on the foundations laid by controversial figures like Ivy Forrester and Quinn Fuller. But now, she is stepping out of the shadows and finding her own voice. Her Aunt Ivy completely betrayed her by intercepting that crucial letter, trying to manipulate her love life and control her destiny. Electra is furious, feeling utterly betrayed by her own blood. Choosing Will right now is not just about romantic love. It is the ultimate act of rebellion against the toxic manipulation she has endured. She is looking at Will, a man who is standing there completely vulnerable, and she is realizing that her heart belongs to him, regardless of what the Forrester family dictates. That is crazy. She is risking her entire career, her dream job at Forrester Creations, all for the sake of a Spencer. The psychological weight on this young woman's shoulders is immense. She is torn between her professional ambition and her undeniable passion. And what about Will Spencer? My heart absolutely breaks for him, but at the same time, I am cheering him on. He is the son of Bill Spencer and Katie Logan, carrying the heavy legacy of a family that has always been at war with the Forresters. Will has just discovered the devastating truth about Ivy's twisted machinations, and his emotions are completely raw. We recently saw him get into a literal physical scuffle with RJ right there in the Forrester Creations office. That is the kind of suspense we live for. Will is fighting for his pride, fighting for his family name, but most importantly, he is fighting for the woman he loves. Seeing him beg Electra to stay with him shows a completely different side to the usually guarded Spencer man. He is dropping the macho facade and showing pure, unadulterated desperation. He knows that if Electra listens to Ridge, he loses her forever. The fear of losing her to the arrogant, entitled Forrester heir is driving him to the edge of reason. Now, let us talk about Forrester, because I have some very strong feelings about him right now. RJ is completely channeling the aggressive, domineering traits of his grandfather, Massimo Marone. He is arrogant, he is pushy, and he genuinely assumed that a little bit of flattery and a few hand kisses would be enough to win Electra over. How delusional can you get? He thought he could just swoop in, badmouth the Spencer family, and claim Electra as his own personal prize. So, when Electra looks him in the eye and says she cannot stay away from Will, it is a massive blow to his massive ego. RJ is not used to hearing the word no, especially not from a woman he desires. This rejection is going to sting, and knowing the Forrester men, he is not going to take it lying down. He will likely run straight to his father, Ridge, and complain about how Electra is fraternizing with the enemy. RJ's bruised ego is the exact catalyst that could push Ridge to make a drastic, career-ending move against Electra. Speaking of Ridge Forrester, we really need to unpack his outrageous hypocrisy. Ridge has the sheer audacity to corner Electra and warn her that Forresters and Spencers do not mix. Let that sink in for a moment. This is the same man who has spent decades bouncing back and forth between Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan. He is literally standing on his high horse, preaching about family loyalty and appropriate relationships, while completely ignoring his own messy history. The historical context here is absolutely vital. The feud between Bill Spencer and Ridge Forrester has spanned decades, involving stolen companies, thrown punches, and endless battles over Brooke Logan's heart. Ridge sees Will not just as a young man, but as an extension of Bill's ruthless, cutthroat legacy. To Ridge, a Spencer is a shark, always looking for blood in the water. He views Forrester Creations as a sacred sanctuary of art and family, and Will is the invading enemy threatening to corrupt his pristine legacy. Ridge's warning is not just fatherly advice, it is a thinly veiled threat. He is essentially telling Electra that her employment, her future in the fashion industry, is entirely dependent on her absolute obedience to the Forrester family rules. But wait, the plot twists just keep getting better. While Ridge is busy policing Electra's love life, he is completely entangled in his own massive corporate and romantic scandal. We know that Brooke Logan recently made a highly seductive offer to Ridge when he got home. She is actively trying to manipulate him into giving her the co-CEO position, aiming to replace his own daughter, Steffy. Ridge was clearly uncomfortable with the idea, but he is so weak-willed when it comes to Brooke's advances that he actually agreed to consider the swap. So, Ridge is contemplating betraying his own daughter for a Logan, yet he has the nerve to threaten Electra for loving a Spencer? The double standard is absolutely infuriating. I cannot stand how Ridge always thinks he knows what is best for everyone else while his own life is a complete disaster. Sometimes I wonder if the network needs to bring in replacement actors for these executives just to show them how real business is done. If Steffy finds out that Ridge is even considering Brooke's offer, the fallout will be apocalyptic. And in the middle of all this high-level corporate warfare, Electra's job security is hanging by a very thin thread. So, let us address the massive elephant in the room. Will Ridge actually pull the trigger and fire Electra? I genuinely believe he might. Ridge is a man driven by emotion and a desperate need to maintain control over his empire. If Electra publicly defies his direct warning and proudly parades her relationship with Will around the Forrester building, Ridge will view it as a direct challenge to his authority. He cannot stand the idea of a Spencer having any influence inside his company. Firing Electra would be a swift, brutal way for Ridge to reassert his dominance and send a clear message to everyone that the Forrester name demands absolute loyalty. However, firing a talented designer like Electra over her personal life is a massive legal and public relations nightmare waiting to happen. But since when do the Forresters ever care about HR protocols? They treat their multi-million-dollar international fashion house like a personal playground. And we cannot forget about Steffy Forrester Finnegan's role in all of this madness. Steffy is already dealing with a catastrophic amount of drama. She is currently weighing Electra's ultimatum to fire Ivy over the intercepted letter scandal. Steffy is fed up with the toxic environment, and now she has to deal with her brother RJ fighting with Will Spencer in the hallways. If Ridge steps in and fires Electra, Steffy might actually lose her mind. Electra is a key asset to the design team, especially with the slow-paced plot of the current fashion lines needing a fresh injection of youth and creativity. Steffi might actually fight her father on this decision, creating an even bigger rift between the co-CEOs. Imagine the explosive boardroom scenes. Steffi defending the girl who loves a Spencer, while Ridge tries to banish her. It is the perfect recipe for top-tier daytime drama. Now, it is time for some of our favorite fan theories, and this one is absolutely mind-blowing. If Ridge does the unthinkable and fires Electra, where does she go? Well, let us look at the current landscape of the show. We know that Katie Logan Spencer is aggressively trying to build her new Logan fashion house. Katie is already trying to lure Hope Logan away from Forrester Creations, which is causing a massive feud with Brooke. Let us connect the dots with what is happening with Hope right now. Liam Spencer is relentlessly pressuring Hope to quit Forrester Creations and work for Katie's new company. Liam is convinced that Steffi is mistreating Hope and that hope for the future is doomed. But Hope is stubbornly refusing, opting instead to urge Brooke to pursue the co-CEO position to protect her line. Because Hope is staying put, Katie's new brand desperately needs a young, visionary successor character to launch their premiere collection. Boom! Electra gets fired by Ridge, and Katie immediately scoops her up. This would be the ultimate revenge against the Forrester. Electra would be working for a Spencer-adjacent company, designing rival collections and dating Will Spencer proudly. It would completely shift the balance of power in Los Angeles and give Electra the ultimate platform to prove Ridge wrong. That would be an incredible storyline, and I am praying the writers take it in this direction. The suspense is absolutely killing me. The stakes have never been higher for these young lovers. Electra is standing at the ultimate crossroads of her life. Does she bow down to the tyrannical demands of Ridge Forrester to save her career, or does she follow her heart, choose Will, and face the terrifying consequences of unemployment? I love the fire in Electra, and I desperately want her to choose love, even if it means getting thrown out of the Forrester building. What do you guys think? Do you think Ridge has the right to dictate who his employees date? Will Electra's choice lead to her immediate termination? And could she end up becoming the secret weapon for Katie's new fashion house? We want to hear all your thoughts, predictions, and wild theories. Drop your comments down below. Let us debate this messy love triangle. And do not forget to keep tuning in to B&B for Phone for all your daily soap opera breakdowns.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.